Okay, so now we're going to talk about examples of rhythm and cadence. And I thought I'd start with an example from my book, Inventor MacGregor, a very jolly, whimsical tale. It's kind of got a jaunty feel to it. Let me just read a couple of pages, and I hope you'll get that feel as I read the words, that it's a jolly, merry tale. Hector MacGregor lived in a higgledy-piggledy house with a cheery wife, 5 children, and a hen called Hattie. Mend it, MacGregor, everyone called him, because he could mend most anything that needed mending, they said, from fishing rods and fairy wands to top hats and rubber ducks. Day after day, people brought him their squeaky skates, squiggly spoons, wobbly wagons, tangled kites, knotted yo-yos, headless dolls and footless soldiers, with a blob of glue or a squirt of oil, with a tap of his hammer or a shimmy here and a shimmy there. Hector MacGregor fixed whatever needed fixing and sent everyone on their way with a skip, a hop and a hum. And then I'll miss out this next little page, but finish up with this one. He's a very jolly soul. He does his painting and his dancing in the winding lane behind his house, and every night before the shades were drawn, Hector MacGregor nestled his fiddle beneath his chin, and he played a rousing reel or a sweeping strathspey, while all around the house, from pantry to parlour, his cheery wife, his 5 children, and his hen called Hattie whirled and whooshed and wheeked. And yes, wheeked is a real word. It's a Scottish word, and it means to twirl somebody around very, very fast. So hopefully you got the idea there that it was a jaunty, kind of a real feel to it. Now here's one that's very different, and here's an example of how you're setting the whole mood and making this one much slower. It's much wiser. It's got much more of a sedate sense. You know, it's almost like you can hear an elderly sage sitting around a fire from long ago beneath the stars, reading you this tale. It's an old Bantu tale retold by Celia Barker Lottridge, and it's called The Name of the Tree. And I've been reading this for many years aloud to children at the little school that I go to. It's one of their perennial favourites. I'm just going to read you the first page and a half so you'll get the feel of it. Once, long ago in the land of the short grass, there was a great hunger. No rain fell and no grass grew. The ostrich, the gazelle, the giraffe, the monkey, the rabbit, the tortoise, the zebra, and all the other animals were hungry. They searched in the jungle, they searched by the river, they searched on the great flat plain, but they could find nothing to eat. At last all the animals gathered together and they said, "Let us go together across the great flat plain until we come to something we can eat." And so all the animals, except for the lion, who was the king and lived in the jungle, walked across the flat, empty land. They walked, and after many days they saw a small bump on the edge of the flat land. And then they saw that the small bump was a tree, and the tree was very tall, and the tree had fruit on it, such fruit as they had never seen before. It was as red as pomegranates, as yellow as bananas, as green as melons, as purple as plums, as orange as mangoes. And it smelled like all the fruits of the world. So a very different feel, sedate, slow, wise. That's an example of how we create the tone, we create the mood of our story with its rhythm, with its cadence, which is so important.